I can cook spaghetti bolognese in under 10 minutes.
This actually is not a towel rack. This is a wine rack.
So we've got an ice maker and this puppy purrs. If in doubt, get out and give it a go. G'day everyone, I'm Craig.
I'm Allison.
I'm Paige. I'm Memphis. I'm Carson.
And we are the Hadley family, traveling in our 35-foot 2008 Winnebago Sightseer 35J.
Come walk about with us as we take you through our home.
Welcome inside everybody. We're starting here in the kitchen, which is on the passenger side of the rig. We pulled this all apart when we first bought it because we needed to change a few things. What I like about this area is all the storage here and here. We've got everything you need. It's not clean. We are a family of 5. We pulled out our oven and our stove over here, which is just backwards from the kitchen. We installed a washer-dryer combo and a dishwasher. This is my favorite part of this area. No more running off to the laundromat and no more having to convince my 15-year-old to wash the dishes properly. This does it for us. Then further back this way, we've got the fridge. Little small, not a big fan of this at all. We had a 6,200 square foot house in New Jersey. We had a massive 2-door fridge and we went down to this. This has not been fun. Our next update will probably be right here. This is my area right here. This is my pantry. I cook everything in the house. I store everything in here. Plenty of space. Great to just downsize and get everything into here. I love it. When we took out the oven and the stove, the first thing we always wanted to know is what we're going to do to cook. We do a lot of barbecuing outside. We have a 2-burner barbecue. We have a Ninja Speedy. I love that thing. I can cook spaghetti bolognese in under 10 minutes. So that's all I need. Oh, and I got the Blackstone for breakfast, of course. The washer and the dryer do draw a lot of power. We run them when we're in a park. We never normally do a lot of boondocking. If we do, we will not run the washer and the dryer and the dishwasher because that draws a lot of water and we only have a 60,000 gallon holding tank for grey water. So we try to stay plugged into parks. Very rarely do we boondock. So down in the underside of the kitchen, it's not a lot of storage at all. We have a trash can in here. You don't want to see that. We have all of our chemicals in this side. Hopefully nothing falls out. We have our cutlery, utensils, big and small, and we have our tea towels and washcloths down in here. Not a lot of storage. I would hope for more. Never know what could happen. You know what? If I had a way to change things, and I do, and I may do it differently, but if I had to do it differently right now, the first thing I would change is our sink and our faucet. I like big high faucets and I like deep barnyard style sinks. So I'd really like to bring this out and make it all flow nice and evenly, change out my countertops and put some Corian in there. As we move into the left side of the rig, we move out of the kitchen area into the dining area. It is actually a really nice looking place where the kids can do their schoolwork. We eat our meals and everything. My wife also reupholstered all of the cushions and everything like that. What I like about this area is storage. There's plenty of it. There's plenty of cupboards to put things in, my daughter's stuff. Our pots and pans, toasters, things like that, plates, all the good stuff. We also have storage down in here. So that's my daughter's drawer there where she keeps all of her makeup and stuff like that. We have another one over there where we keep a lot of other odds and ends that we may need during the course of the day. Vacuum cleaner, my wife's favorite little friend right here. She runs this thing around every day. You have to when you have 3 kids. The inspiration wall, I like to call this. This was my wife's design. This is my favorite part of this area. This tells us where we are, days of the week. It helps the kids with their homeschooling, where we've been, missing a couple of spots. She has to update that for sure. All of our life stickers of friends that we've met and everything. So as you'll see, our flooring is still the original flooring from the rig from the day it was built. You're going to ask me why. First of all, to have this floor torn out, this is all a slide out right here. If we tear this floor out and put in floating flooring, which is what Allison really, really wants us to do, there's a lot of work involved because this has to come over the floor. It can damage it, it can rip it up, it can damage the slide. I'm just not willing to take that sacrifice right now. If we ever upgrade the rig itself to another newer rig, which I don't foresee in the future, we will look for something with hardwood or floating floor. We had to go with what we wanted at the time. When we bought this, it was during COVID. The RV world had exploded. So RVs were getting expensive. We had to think about what we could afford at the time. We had to sell our house. Everything was moving so fast. So this is what we found that suited us at the time. Am I a fan of this? No, I'm not. The carpet, It does attract a lot of dirt. That's why I said the wife is running around with the vacuum cleaner every single day. The kids tread dirt in, they tread mud, you name it. Will I ever change it? Probably not. Another upgrade we did was the curtains. A lot of you guys probably have seen RVs with the big, heavy valances that hang off. We hated that. We tore them off. First thing we did when we bought this, we tore all the curtains out and we put in these. Best thing we ever did. You still pull them down and get the privacy at night. They go up easy, they break easy. And yeah, that's probably about it just for this area. The reason we chose this life is I was an office worker. I was 9 to 5 in the office, suit, tie. I did that for years. When COVID hit, unfortunately, the company I worked for had to let me go. And we had a nice big 6,200 square foot home. We had big trucks, we had everything. We had the life, the glitz and glamour. Company let me go. Another company picked me up and said, we want you to come work. By that time, we had already started to dabble in RV life because, well, my wife went online and found
A seasonal.
up in Connecticut. So we'd started to dabble. And one day I just woke up and I looked at Allison and I said, what if we sell the house?
Well, it all started as a joke. It wasn't something that we were just gonna, look into and decide, is this a life we want? It's kind of like, he just sat there one night and he's like, why don't we get an RV, sell the house and keep moving? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was just a passing comment. And then literally within 2 weeks, we were online looking for RVs.
That's right. It was a joke. It was a joke that turned into reality.
It wasn't easy. I mean, like, to have 3 stories, 3 kids, the youngest one, still had all the baby equipment and everything like that. It's like, I sat back and I'm like, how am I going to downsize to live in an RV? It took me probably 3 weeks to sit down and just go, all right, I really need to sit there and think about what I really need, what I do not need, and just start making a list and kind of go from there. Like, it wasn't easy, because you have to learn that everything you have can be replaced. Obviously your lives cannot be replaced, but everything you have can be replaced. So you really only need your everyday basic items.
So we move forward from the kitchen to the front part of the bus here. First thing I love about this area, we had this big old fold out sofa bed, you would call it, that came with the rig. We were not a fan of it. It was very heavy and cumbersome. We tore it out. With thanks to friends, we got our hands on this beauty. It's less than a year old. I like this, and the reason I really like it is, A, it's comfortable. It's a double bed when it folds out, and it has storage underneath. We store blankets, we store board games. It just helped us find a place for everything. Then we installed the table over here for travel days. My daughter sits here. She can have her drinks there. She can have her iPhone set up there. We've got the kids' books. We had enough space here to put the shelf in and the books, which helps continue the kids' education with reading. This is all the same as it was in the back area where the kitchen was. It's all storage. This is our educational area. So this is just all books, pens, coloring, toys, things like that for the kids to learn. Lots of space, but as I said, my favorite part was right here, this couch. It was so much better than the old one we had. Okay, so as we move further forward, we are at the heart of the bus. This is where it all happens on move day. So we've got obviously the driver's seat and the passenger seat, but what we did here is pretty big. When we bought this bus, there was a seat that was right here. It was a bit of a recliner. It got torn out. This is now my workstation. I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. This is my area. And this is my wife's area. So we have our own little office space here. Same as the side, we have the cupboards. This is where we keep our user manuals, things like that, cables, electronics, anything that holds anything in the area that we need to operate on a day-to-day basis. That is the only adjustments we did make to this area of the rig. And the reason being is, as I said, this is the driving area. So I didn't want to go and make too many adjustments here that would affect me in operating the rig on a day-to-day basis. We put in new curtains. These are pretty cool, really simple. I love this. They're just on a tension rod. On a move day, we just pop them straight off. They go into storage. Everything works out well. We've got this here, which is the valance curtains that my wife installed. Gives us privacy during the day. However, at night, the first question you're saying is, how do you keep privacy when you've got a light on? That's simple. The good old screen goes right across there and keeps the light in and keeps the nosy neighbors out. So that's another thing I love about this. When we bought it, there was this tiny, like this big, tiny color TV here, had no sound, it was horrible. Ripped it out, brought this. Actually, no, I won this. I won this in a raffle. Mounted it, best thing I've ever done. Absolute best thing. Nice big screen TV when we sit on that comfortable couch as a family watching our movies. I have 3 forms of internet for communication right now for my work because I have to do a lot of video conference calls and things like that. I have T-Mobile Home, I have AT&T wireless hotspot through FMCA, and we're just about to launch our next internet connection, which is Nomad Internet. So we're going to be giving that a go. We've been told it's unthrottled, it's really good speed. We want to try it because between my work, my wife, day-to-day operations that she does, and all of our social media channeling that we do, we need good internet. So one thing I do want to point out, a new addition that we put into the rig, actually 2 things. First of all, the shelves here is great for storage. These cloth containers hold Legos, shoes, kids' toys. My wife installed that. IKEA shelf works really well. But this here, the ice maker. The ice maker was a must. I had my in-laws come to visit, my wife's mother. She loves her glass of wine in the afternoon with ice in it. We were not going to have anywhere we could store bags of ice. So we got an ice maker, and this puppy purrs all day long. Now the entire family enjoys fresh ice every single day. Keeps our drinks cold, which is what you need when you're in Florida. I mean, you need a cold drink. So a couple of other modifications we made to the rig. We have a Ring doorbell because at the end of the day, camp etiquette is you never bang on somebody's door when they're at camp. The Ring doorbell also gives me peace of mind for security. It's filming outdoors at night. Any movement it picks up, throws it up here on the screen on my Alexa as well as on my TV. You're probably wondering what these are about. So this is another safety thing. This is a safety thing for 2 reasons. One, my daughter carries one at all times when she's out in the park. So we can contact her and she can contact us. She also has a cell phone. My eldest son, he also carries one when he's out and about in the park. Again, contact is key. We also use those to guide the rig. So when we get to an RV park, Allison gets out, she guides me back. She has a radio, I have a radio. It's the best way to keep in contact. We're not listening to phones breaking up and things like that. Couldn't do it without the radios. We've got the storage basket for the kids' games, and that's all we have in this area.
Welcome to the kids' bunk room. So we have the boys asleep here. My oldest son sleeps here. My youngest son sleeps here. They each have their own space, which is great. So when they have a meltdown or if they just want to go and relax or do whatever they want to do, that's where they retreat to. They each have like a little shelf here which has their own little storage area so they can store whatever they want to store there. And I don't ever touch that. So when it's time to clean things up, whatever they want, which is something special to them, they put on their shelves. They each have a DVD player, which works great. You know, when they don't want to watch something that we're watching, they'll come and watch it down here. Each of them have a bookshelf. So again, they put their own special books on there that they don't want their brother or their sister to touch, which is separate from the communal box of books. Underneath, we had a big pull-out drawer, which was just, for us, was useless because it was so hard to pull out, so hard to push back in. So I pulled that out completely, and I just went to Walmart and bought some plastic tubs. So basically, all these here hold all the boys' toys and anything that they have that's little loose bits and pieces. So on the other side of the boys' bunk, which is the driver's side, we have all our control panels here, which is our air conditioner, our lights, our meters, which is our water levels and pump. Up here we have our slide-out controls, which is always turned off at all times so that the children don't turn them on and push the button. We just have like another wall of like pictures because there's not much space to hang, you know, pictures, and I'm very big on hanging pictures, especially things that we do, like we went to Disney, monster trucks, and, you know, special little things like that. And this is the smallest part of the rig, which is where we have to, you know, find space and utilize what we have and use this space here, like for hats and hoodies, anything that you may need, but you don't need it on an everyday basis. So we are now in our bathroom. It's not my ideal bathroom, but it works. You know, it has the facilities of the toilet, the vanity, all our storage for like, you know, my daughter's makeup, toothbrushes and stuff. And we have a shower, so we don't ever have to go out of the rig for anything. My favorite part of this is my sign. just, you know, for us, having little quirks like that, because we are from Australia, having little quirks like that makes us feel a little bit more at home. So this actually is not a towel rack. This is a wine rack. So when I first had this idea, I couldn't get a towel rack online. I looked high and low, Walmart, Amazon, nobody had it. So I improvised and used that, and less than 3 weeks later, they came out with a towel rack which looks identical. So you wouldn't know the difference. But it's the best storage we have because, as you see, we don't have anywhere else to hang, you know, towels, or especially for a family of 5. So in this rig, we have 2 ways of heating up water. We have electric and we have propane. So we always have hot water. We never run out of hot water. And having 2 females, it is the best thing we ever had. So every morning we wake up, Craig takes the first shower. He turns the electric water on. So that way it runs, it heats up. We have unlimited water. So sometimes we can have 3-4 showers every morning. Then when we're done, we just turn it off. And for some reason, if it's not working, which has happened in the past, maybe 3 or 4 times, we do have the propane. So we just go out, we hook a propane bottle up. If we haven't had propane already filled up in the rig, which is sometimes we run out. So we have the ability to be able to hook a little gas bottle, and we hook that up, have our showers, then we just go and unhook it again, and that's how we have our showers.
So let's talk about the journey of getting the rig. We found this online, Facebook Marketplace. We found this. Yep. I thought it was a scam because it was just too cheap, and it turned out it wasn't a scam. We hired a company, I think it was called Lemon Squad, that sent us like a 148-page report on this rig. They did a whole bunch of tests, water tests, everything, hydraulic, engine, you name it. They tested it, photographs, and it came up beautiful, to the point that the guy that did the inspection calls us up and says, I've finalized your inspection. It's going to be in your email in about 20 minutes. If you don't buy this rig, tell me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, scam. And he's like, no, I will buy it. I'm like, So I flew to Pittsburgh, and the rest is history. This is where we live now.
This is our home. Like, we could not have asked for anything better. And the question we get asked all the time, will we return to sticks and bricks? Well, the answer is we don't know, because right now we love the lifestyle that we are living. The children with their homeschooling, they are learning so much more on the road, because we can just pack up and go, all right, we want to go here today, or next week, hey, let's go there. And that's what we do. So
you're probably wondering, how do you sustain life on the road full time? So myself, I work Monday through Friday. I'm the president of a large travel company. It has 2 types of brands. It has a corporate brand and a leisure brand. I run the corporate brand, so that's my day-to-day job. We also have social media, Walkabout RV Adventures. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
That's normally what I do. So, you know, at the beginning of the week, I'll write a list, and then we'll start, you know, working out what day we want to film what, and what we want to do, what locations, things like that. So that's mainly what I do. I do the social media side of things. So that's how we make our living on the road. We are in the master bedroom, and that pretty much comes straight in from the bunk room, and we have a king-size bed. And that was a must for me, because living in a house and having a king-size bed, I wasn't prepared to downsize. And there were a few rigs when we first bought it, I only had double beds and queen beds, and I wasn't doing it. I like my bed. I like my space. The one thing that I do not like about this bed, there is no underbed storage. We lifted it up, we pulled the bottoms apart to try and work a way to see if we could make storage, but we can't make storage because that's where our holding tanks are. So we have one big tank here and one big tank there. So we have no storage. So the storage that we have in this room literally is 4 cupboards up here and all this just here. And all this here houses 5 people's worth of clothes. And if you think about it, an average house has, you know, you have like a chest of drawers, and then you have like a big walk-in wardrobe. Well, we don't have that. All we have is this. This picture here is one of my favorite. We are Australian, but my youngest son was born in America. So this here represents us. So it's the Australian flag, which incorporates into the American flag. And no matter where we go, that will always be in our home, whether it's a caravan, an RV, or whether it's a house. That is one thing that will always come with us. Over here, we have a TV.
which is something that we like. So when my daughter's out in the living room sleeping on the lounge, we can lean here and we can watch TV and we don't disturb the children. And also behind, if we open it up, there's storage in here, which we can put like a safe or more camera gear or something that if we leave the rig, people can't break in and find, basically. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, welcome outside again, everybody. So a couple of things that we talked about inside the rig, I really want to elaborate and show you. So Allison spoke about our hot water system. It's heated in two different ways. It's heated by propane and electric. There is also a third heating element, but that's only when we're in motion. It's heated by the exhaust of the actual rig itself. But what do we do to make sure we keep hot water up? So we run the electric all day, every day. In the mornings, as Allison said, we turn on the propane to just give it that extra kick so we don't run out of hot water. How do we keep our propane up? So when you're situated in a place like this, or if you're boondocking, propane's a big thing. If you run out, you don't want to be pulling things down and having to get your rig unplugged just to go and fill. So our propane tank is in here. It's a part of the rig itself. So it's down in here. It cannot be taken out of the rig. So we either have to go to a propane filling station or try and find one that comes here, which is really hard to do. So I installed the extender stay. I love this thing. So this actually gives me the ability to A, run my barbecue off the propane here in the rig, or B, if I run out of propane, I can actually plug a 20-pound propane bottle into the rig right here, and it will feed my rig for the hot water or any other reason if we need to draw propane, heat, anything. So we can go off grid if we need to. This was probably one of the best things I ever installed because it does give me the ability not to have to worry if I'm going to run out of propane. So another big thing with storage, our Class A has all of this storage here. We're going to talk about some good things and some bad things, but one of the big things that I really like is I needed a fridge for my beer. I like my beer. Can't fit it inside. So what did I do? Went and got myself a college fridge. Excuse the mess. My college fridge fit perfectly under here. I used this to strap for travel days so we don't have beer flying out. Learnt the hard way 2 or 3 times, including a glass bottle that smashed. Probably my most favorite part of the outside of the rig because I can get a cold beer whenever I need one. Apart from that, one other thing I did do out here before we talk about the bad is when we brought the rig, it had like an old tape deck in here. The speakers were all broken. I tore all of that out and replaced the whole system. We now have Bluetooth audio out here. We can listen to music. I have a shelf that clips on here that's unfortunately buried way under the back there, so I can't show that to you today. But we can put a TV on there. We can plug the TV into the stereo. We can sit out here, watch the game. Super Bowl's coming up. So that is probably one of the other good things I did. My biggest downfall that I don't like about this rig and the storage, we do not have one pass-through. Not one. All of our basement storages terminate in the middle of the rig. We have nothing that goes right through, which is really annoying. That will be a big thing if we ever upgrade the rig, is having full pass-throughs. So another thing we put on the rig, so sticker maps, we got in touch with them and they sent us out this awesome map of America. And this is with a difference. You see rigs driving around, they've got the little stickers of each state with the name and stuff like that. This company, you send them pictures and they print your picture in the shape of the state. And then you just peel it off and put it on the map when you go there. So as you can see, we've been as far north as Connecticut and as far south as Florida. And later on this year, we're hoping to fill all of this in with all different pictures of us in different places standing outside of welcome centers. So big thing, look them up, sticker maps, they're pretty cool. If I could give one message to somebody watching this, and you know what, we might reach 5 million people, 5,000 people, 5 people. If this message gets just to one person, nothing's unachievable. Everything's available to you. If you want to try this life, try it. Give it a go. You might hate it. You might love it. If you were to go back 4 years ago and ask my wife and I if this was a lifestyle that we were going to do, we would have said, nope.
The first thing I would have said, are you kidding me? There is no way I am going to live in an RV with 3 kids, a cat and a dog. I would have told you basically where to go. But today I'm like, you know what? We've achieved it. You know, we sold the house, we've moved in here, we've done it for 3+ years now, and it's probably the best thing that we've done. But the thing is, when you do it, if you are so unsure, you don't have to sell your house straight away. You can either rent it out or, you know, let a friend move in or let it sit there for 6 months. Do 6 months and then see how you go, because then you're going to realize, yes, I can do this lifestyle, or no, this lifestyle is not for me, because it's not for everybody.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And the other thing I would advise you to do if you want to try this life, try different aspects of it. We actually did have a travel trailer first. Then we went to a park model. Now we have a Class A. So try different types of campers, because you might get a Class A, B, C, and you won't like it.
And you don't have to actually buy a camper to be able to do this lifestyle. There are companies out there that rent them, and we've known people that actually have written down every RV they can think of. They've gone out there, they've rented every single RV for a week, and then that's decided, okay, yes, we want to do this lifestyle. We've done, you know, a travel trailer, we've done a fifth wheel, we've done a Class A, we've done a Class B, and they've worked out what one will suit them, and that's when they've decided, okay, this is now the time to buy something.
Yep, that's right. So if in doubt, get out and give it a go.
Yeah.
You will never know, and you don't want to be that person at the end of the day that goes, I wish I could have done it, because you can do it. It's what we do. We open the world for everyone to see. Have a great time.